how to pass your ACCA SBR exam first time with a mark of 66%. Well, if you are an SBR student, you are definitely going to want to watch this video because Jack is going to walk and talk us through all the things he put into practice to get him that pass for his exam. But don't let me steal your thunder, Jack. Feel free to introduce yourself to the students who are watching.
Hello, my name's Jack. I'm 23, and in December 2024, I passed the SBR exam with 66% first time, which was a really good achievement.
Nice. And when you walked out the exam, did you feel good about it? Like, was it a
Yeah, to be honest, it was one of the very few exams I came out and I was like, you know what, I think I smashed that. But I mean, I say very few, probably the only exam I came out and I felt like that. The rest of it all a bit like, oh, hit or miss, we'll have to wait and see how it goes.
Well, we're going to get stuck into all of your insights now, Jack, so that anyone who's doing the SBR exam, it could be the difference in getting them the 50 plus. But where would you like to kick us off? What made the difference for you getting a very, very good pass mark on there?
I think understanding, going back to the conceptual framework, I um I read that chapter quite a few times because couldn't understand it the first few times, and I realized that everything comes back to that, all the standards and what is an asset, what is a liability, what is income, what is expense. And I think once I understood that to its core and then was able to apply that or apply different standards to it,
Mm,
um, that was a game changer for me because prior to that there are all these different standards and it's a huge step up from financial reporting and the exam before that, which is I think financial accounting at the lower level,
mm.
and I just really found it hard to remember all these different rules and how to account for certain items under this or that condition.
Yeah, yeah. Just don't underestimate those standards in particular, where granted you might have some like provisions or revenue recognition or assets on there, whatever it may be, or inventory, which you go, ah, I've seen some of those come up. I feel comfortable on it. But it's sometimes the ones that are a bit sort of, oh, it's an outlier. I've not done much reading. That was a small piece in the chat in the chapters. It's one massive takeaway that whenever I speak and help SBR students out is do not underestimate those standards. And you touched on there about financial reporting being the foundation. How did you get on when you did the FR exam? Did that help you out having that good grounding of knowledge?
Yeah, so the FR exam, it was my first ever applied skills exam, and I didn't really know what the exam was going to be about. I'd done past papers and things like that, and or CBA practice prep them now anyway,
Hmm.
and but as I said, it was my first jump up to that level, and I came out the exam feeling okay. But I managed to get 69 in that, which was a massive sort of surprise to me,
Mm.
really. And I think the same sort of things as well. I mean, obviously, there wasn't as much written aspects, but still, knowing the accounting standards and applying that to the multiple choice questions anyway was really helpful. So I did have an okay sort of underlying knowledge, but the time from when I sat FR to SBR was, well, 2.5 years.
Oh,
So
wow.
there was quite a delay. So I sat FR first, and then all the optional papers after that, and then SBR. It was one of my later optional, one of my later option, not optional, sorry, strategic professional papers.
Hmm.
So there was a huge gap in that. So once, as I said, once I got my head around the conceptual framework on SBR, it all started to come back
Oh, I
again.
see. I see. I
Um,
see. Well, it's like we're going to have some students who are watching this. Maybe they've had that bit of a gap. I always
mm,
recommend that if you've not done financial reporting in a long time, really focus on on the technical articles, understanding the details on it. And this can also be some students' first exam if they've had some exemptions as well.
mm.
What about that sort of step up that we're now getting into the strategic level from the applied skills level? I mean, was it a big jump? Like, what advice can you give to someone that's what springs to mind? Was it the time management? Was it the difficulty? Was it the expectation of what you got to write? What comes to mind when we talk about that?
It was definitely the time management. I found with the lower level papers, I mean, in FR, I remember finishing and having like half an hour left and thinking, okay, surely I've missed something out or something's gone terribly wrong. But thankfully, it wasn't. Where here, I remember I scraped it with 2 minutes left, and it's more so the written aspect as well now with
Mm,
SBR that comes in. It's not just all numbers. There is still a section but of numbers, especially in the first question, one on groups, but
mm,
definitely more on explaining, what you're doing and how you're applying it, and then the numbers are there, which is some sort of proof, really.
mm.
But also I don't want to forget of the own figure rule as well, which something James you might be able to elaborate on a bit more than me. But from what I understand, it's if you're showing your workings, if even if you
Yeah.
don't get to the correct answer, your work is still, give you credit.
Absolutely right. It's where maybe you've got a figure wrong at the top, but you've
Mm.
applied the correct workings, you've shown the marker what your thought process is, and they will still give you credit as you go through. So you're absolutely spot on there. Lots of students just put a little number on the CBE platform, and just imagine you're trying to mark your own work.
Yeah.
I always say to my students, imagine yours is being marked and it's the last one that the marker's got to do on a Friday afternoon. You want to make it as easy as possible for them to follow it through, see your final figures, see all your workings. Just imagine you've got to mark your own work is a good bit of advice that I always took on board and definitely helped me to get some of those method marks. But you touched on it on there as to we've got the group accounts in question one, we've then got ethics in question two, the standards and other topical areas, question three and four. Back, can you remember sort of your approach, like which ones you went for, or maybe which was the harder topic areas?
Yes, so I this exam I started at the beginning with question one just because from memory it was more of the sort of numerical sort of
Hmm.
question base, and for me that's what I prefer. So I started off with that one, felt like I'd done relatively well, built my confidence up, and then
Good.
ethics as well. By the time you've done SBR, the amount of ethics questions you've done in your time, ethics is like, yeah, whatever sort of thing. So ethics, was quite well, been answered in section two. So when you know you've done two questions out of the four relatively well, that confidence to just go through, and even if you don't understand a question in full, you just have the confidence to, I'll give it a go, and
Mm,
if it isn't that great, at least I've got question one and two to fall back on,
mm.
and that's how I applied it.
Marvelous on there. And we've got to talk about the resources that you use. Did you have some
Yeah.
tuition? Did you use technical articles, external examiners' reports, ACCA's website, CBE platform? Walk and talk us through.
So for SBR, I was on the BPP course, not on the revision, but on the talk course. So
Hmm.
I got all the books and all the sort of pre-recorded lectures which came with that, which is very helpful at the beginning of my studies to capture everything.
Hmm.
But because there is a whole, the SBR syllabus is gigantic, and um, I couldn't have passed on that alone. So I used things like the technical articles, YouTube videos, especially a tutor called Tom Clendon.
Hmm.
His videos were very helpful, for me passing, especially on more of the tricky aspects like what was I trying to think? What it was financial instruments.
Oh my word, yeah.
I've tried to erase that from my brain, but it was incredibly challenging, and but he managed to break it down into a really easy and understandable way. So his videos, obviously, technical articles, examiners' reports as well. And of course, the mock debrief videos are very important, learning, how a tutor or how you should answer or approach certain questions. And again, it's not all about quality, it's quantity as well in this exam and time
Yeah.
management, as we touched on earlier.
Exactly, yeah, and you can access those YouTube videos on ACCA's official website on there and their channel, of course. And I'll link things to BPP resources, and other areas we've touched in the video as well for anyone who's watching on there. But we've also got to touch on mock papers or past papers that you can do on the CBE platform, Jack. Now, all students hear this. You should do mock papers. Like, how important are they to you passing and for the SBR exam?
They are extremely important. I mean, the syllabus is huge, and if you just look at, um, sort of question practice in the books, or questions which aren't particularly exam standard or in the same sort of format, you're not going to understand how to approach it in the real exam day. So the CBE practice platform, as well as understanding how the questions will be laid out, and
Mm,
how to use the platform as well, because some students, who have had exemptions won't know how to, because the Excel sort of template, it isn't like you use your Excel outside of your work. It's a
mm,
lot more basic in the ACCA sort of portal. And I think for me, touching on the actual exam itself, knowing that there's obviously four questions and there's a lot of information is coming at you, it is vital. And I think for me, um, I done every single possible one I could actually. The specimen, all the practice ones, and most of the past ones up to a certain date. I don't want to go too far down, but
mm,
um, and obviously debriefing and marking your answer. And with SBRs, because some of it is numbers, it's not as time crippling to, compared to some other exams like AAA to self-mark, so that's really important as well. So I think the self-marking, the time management and the structure of the exam is what the main thing you get out of mock practices.
yes. Oh, fantastic. I'm so pleased you talked about that because you might get some students who think, oh, I can just do one mock paper,
Mm,
James. Or, I always get questions of, can I get away with just doing two? And it's really refreshing to hear that lots of students would love to get your mark of 66%, but the time, the
yeah.
effort, the energy, and also the remarking your own work just takes up so much time. So that's absolutely brilliant advice on there, Jack. And really, I have to say, are there any other final golden nuggets of information that you have that you just want to get on record that could help a student to get that 50 plus that they need to get down in their notes to put into practice?
The only thing I say, I know I might not have covered it actually, or you might have covered it, James, but the examiner's report as well,
Mhm.
critical, crucial feedback from the examiner themselves, which basically details where students went wrong and where
Mm,
students went right. And if you read a couple of them, you'll see that there is a pattern which occurs, and if you can spot the pattern where students go wrong, try and work on that specific element because ACCS is going to keep testing over and over again until people start getting it right.
really good advice because we know what's coming. We know there's
Yeah.
going to be some group accounts. We know there's going to be some standards and we know there's going to be ethics. But I always say to my students is it's the level, the step up. Do not underestimate it. And I remember going through a few of my students' answers and just saying, look, this is what they expect, this is what you've written, and it's just using the company's name, using the keywords from the requirement, going into sufficient detail. You can't get away with it, and that is going to be the difference in getting the 50 plus versus sadly maybe having to resit on there, which hopefully someone who is watching this will not have to do, following your fantastic advice on there. So guys, if you'd like access to all the other SBR videos on the channel, I've put all the details in the description. Jack, do you have any other final words of wisdom or best wishes you'd like to wish the students who have tuned in?
Yes, so everyone who's watching has got this for our exam, especially coming up in a few weeks. I wish you all the best and make use of this video and all the resources that me and James have listed as well. But good luck.
Cheers, Jack. Really appreciate it. And make sure you obviously do the usual business, like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the other side for another video soon. So thank you very much.